What's going on, everybody? Cleepus Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy A34 5G that you might not know about. Now, as always, if you do end up wanting to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out the description, where I am linking to several other videos about it, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a couple different things you can do with the power key. Now, by default, if you double press the power key, it's going to open the camera. So definitely a nice convenient shortcut, but you can also have it open pretty much any other app you want. So to do this, what you're going to do is go to settings. Then from here, go to advanced features. So right here. Then from here, go to side key. So as you can see, again, by default, double pressing this key is going to open the camera, but if you want, you can have it open an app instead. And then from here, if you hit the gear icon, you can choose pretty much any app on your phone. So if we do Instagram, and now if I double press the power key, it's going to open Instagram instead. In addition to this, by default, if you press and hold this button, it's going to open Bixby. But if you want, you can have it open the power menu instead. So definitely nice to have this option. Now I'm going to show you how to get to your NFC settings. For this, go to settings. Then from here, go to connections. And from this menu, go to NFC and contactless payments. So from here, you can turn NFC on or off. So by default, it will be on, and honestly, I don't really see a reason why you might want to turn it off, but if you ever do, you always can. And from here, if you go to contactless payments, you can set your default payment service. Now I'm going to show you how to change your refresh rate. Now, in case you don't know, with the Samsung Galaxy A34 5G, we're actually getting a 120Hz refresh rate. So this is going to make the movement on the screen a bit faster and smoother, so overall you're going to have a nicer, more premium experience. And this definitely can be nice, but the drawback here is that it can drain the battery a bit faster. So if battery life is more important to you than having a nicer scrolling experience, you might want to change it back to 60Hz. And with this phone, we actually do get that option. So to do this, go to settings. From here, go to display. And then from here, go to motion smoothness. So as you can see here, by default, it will be at high, which is 120Hz. But if you want, you can change it to standard, which again is 60Hz. So the scrolling isn't going to be quite as smooth, but you will get slightly better battery life. Now honestly, in my experience, it doesn't really make a huge difference. So unless you're in a situation where maybe you know for a fact you're not going to be around a charger for a while, then in that case, I could see changing it. But honestly, for normal use, most people are probably going to be around a charger for at least a little bit during the day. So in that case, I feel like you might as well leave it at high, but again, having the option to change it if you want is always nice. Now I'm going to show you how to disable the Google feed. Now in case you don't know what this is, the Google feed is basically this news feed right here. So if you ever want to disable it, all you have to do is go to your home screen settings. To do this, press and hold your finger on a blank spot on the home screen, so like this. Then from here, go to settings. And in this menu, where it says add media page to home screen, by default, this will be on, and you can also change it if you want. So if for some reason you want to use the Samsung newsfeed instead, you always can. But if you want to turn it off, simply toggle it off. And now if we go back to the home screen, the Google feed will no longer show up. So definitely nice that we get to disable that, because I don't know about you guys, but personally for me, I've never once found that useful at all. I just accidentally scroll onto it, and again, it's kind of annoying. So if you do ever want to disable it, that's how you do it. Now I'm going to show you how to show or hide your battery percentage on the status bar. To do this, go to settings. Then from here, go to battery and device care. So right here. Then from here, of course, go to battery. From here, go to more battery settings. And then finally, where it says show battery percentage, by default it will be on. But if you want to turn it off and make the status bar look a little bit more minimalistic, you can simply toggle it off, and now the battery percentage is gone. And keep in mind when you have it like this, if you still want to see the battery percentage from time to time, all you have to do is pull down the shade like this, and it's going to be here no matter what. Now I'm going to show you a feature called easy mode. Now this is basically going to enlarge some things on the display, and as the name suggests, make things a bit easier to see. So to get to this, go to settings. Then from here, go to display. And from here, go to where it says easy mode. So right here. Then from here, of course, toggle it on. And there we go. So as you can see, things are a bit larger and easier to see. And if we go back to the home screen, things are a bit larger here too. Now we're going to go over a few different features and shortcuts for multitasking. Now to get to these, what you're going to do is go to settings. Then from here, go to advanced features. So right here. From this menu, go to labs. So we get a few different options here. The first thing I want to go over is split screen. So right here we have something called multi-window for all apps, which basically enables split screen for every app. Now, in my experience, most apps have split screen anyway, but just in case, this is gonna make sure you can use it with everything. And now to get to split screen, all you have to do is go to your recent apps. From here, press and hold on the icon, so like this. Drop it on the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter, so I'm gonna go like this. And now you can select the second app. So I'm gonna open the calendar. And that's pretty much it. This is what split screen looks like. If you want, you can grab these dots right here and drag it up or down. And then if you want one app to take over, grab the dots. And you can slide it all the way up or all the way down. Now, in addition to this, you can also turn on full screen and split screen view. So if we do this, if we go back to split screen, with this enabled, it hides the status bar and navigation bar. So pretty cool. And then finally, we got swipe for split screen. So if we do this, instead of going through the whole recent apps thing, all you have to do is swipe up like this. And that's gonna open split screen. So in case you missed it, because that was pretty fast. One more time. So basically put 2 fingers down here, swipe up like this, and there we go. So pretty cool. Now, in addition to split screen, we also got what's called pop-up view. Now, pop-up view is pretty similar. What you're gonna do is go to recent apps, just like if you were going to split screen, but instead of dropping it on the top or the bottom, drop it in the middle instead. So here we go. Now it's basically a little popped out square kind of thing. So definitely great if you're multitasking. If you grab this line, you can move it around a bit. From here, you can do this kind of full screen thing. From here, you can also go to split screen. You can also change the opacity, so you can make it pretty much see-through. You can pop it in, so now it's a little icon. And then finally, this is gonna bring it back to normal. And just like split screen, pop-up view also does have a shortcut. So if we turn this on, now to get to pop-up view, go like this. So just drag it down from the corner. And there we go. One more time in case you missed it. So grab onto the top right corner. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to show you a feature called one-handed mode. Now, as you can probably tell by the name, one-handed mode is basically going to make the phone a bit easier to use with one hand. Now, this feature is in pretty much the same menu we were just at. So again, go to settings. From here, go to advanced features. And from here, where it says one-handed mode, by default it will be off, but if you toggle it on, one-handed mode is now active. By default, it will be activated with a gesture. And of course, if you're using gesture navigation, this is the only way you can do it. So to open one-handed mode, what you're gonna do is swipe down in the middle like this. So basically above the home button, and now we are in one-handed mode. So it's basically like a mini display. So as you can see in one-handed mode, using the phone with one hand is a lot easier. You can also switch sides. You can also move it up or down. And you can change the size too. And to go back to normal, tap anywhere outside, so like this. And we're right back. Now if we go back to the settings here, again by default, it is activated from that one gesture, so again, basically just swipe down in the middle of the bottom part right above the home button, so like this. And there we go once more. But if you want, you can actually change it. So instead of a gesture, you can just double press the home button and that's gonna open one-handed mode. Now again, if you're using gesture navigation, obviously you can't do it like this, but when you're using button navigation, it can be a bit more convenient. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to show you is also in the advanced features menu, and that is dual messenger. Now, dual messenger is a pretty cool feature, albeit not really as useful as it once was now that lots of apps like Instagram and I think Facebook too, a lot of them do make it pretty easy for you to use multiple accounts. But for something like Snapchat, for example, where you might want to log into 2 accounts at once, with dual messenger, it basically makes a copy of an app, and this is going to make that a lot easier. So again, we are in the advanced features menu, which you get to from the settings. So again, from the main settings menu, advanced features is right here. Then from here, go to dual messenger. And this is going to show you all the apps you can use. So granted, it's not really a ton, but if you are using Snapchat or Facebook or Messenger or several other apps that might be compatible, it definitely is a great option to have. But this concludes my tips and tricks video for the Samsung Galaxy A34 5G. Again, if you want to learn more about this phone, definitely check out the description, where I am linking to several other videos about it, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow Kalibus Tech on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, I will see you in the next video.